Well, keep an eye back in row 6 on the outside with the fresh tires at 24 car. That's where Jeff Gordon will restart. Remember, double file restarts with all the lead lap cars up front, and we'll see what can happen. And remember, last week at New Hampshire, it was Montoya and Martin who were the two principals in those final laps. Can Jimmy Johnson hold them off, guys?
Pretty strong car so far. It's going to be hard for anybody to beat him. It's a good start here. You see Matt Kenseth give him a shove.
Heard Darian Grubb say that the 14 car was good in longer runs. Here's Tony Stewart on the outside.
Yeah, Tony on the outside. Matt Kenseth shot up to second from that fourth spot on the restart.
Big advantage to be able to start in that outside lane today.
Yeah, it really is. You see Mark Martin back there still struggling on these. It takes him about 4 or 5 laps before his car really comes in pretty good.
Martin trying to hold off the challenge of the 2 car. And there's the 24 car sort of mired in heavy traffic back behind the 39 and the 07.
Marcus Ambrose, they just went 3 wide into that corner. Marcus Ambrose down on the bottom was able to make a pass. Carl Edwards and Brian Vickers.
And that would be for 14th position. Now Jeff Gordon going to the inside of Ryan Newman.
We say these new tires, they'll be an advantage for a little while, but it's going to get a little bit tougher as he gets up here a little closer to the front. But it could be the right call for this team. They needed to do something because they weren't going anywhere where they were.
No contact right there with Ryan Newman.
Back out and lose a couple of spots. Allmendinger goes by. Now he'll jump back in the throttle and try to go back on the inside of the 44.
Hope he doesn't have a tire rub right there.
Yeah, Jeff had a good run. He just had to squeeze out of the throttle because the 07 was right there. And Ryan Newman and he got together then as they came down the front straightaway.
Less than 50 laps to go here at Dover. Let's show you what happened a moment ago. Now watch the 24. Yeah, there's the contact.
See the back end kick out a little bit on Ryan Newman's car, and as he corrected it, just Jeff Gordon happened to be there. Gordon battling A.J. Allmendinger, who's had a really solid day all day long. Good run for him.
That's 10th and 11th position. Kevin Harvick now trying to move in on the back of Jeff Gordon for a spot.
I'd have to say that contact was enough, Andy, to do some probably aero damage to Jeff Gordon's car.
Oh, yeah, and I'd be afraid, too, that it may have even damaged that right front tire and fender enough that could cause him a problem. Look at A.J. Allmendinger now, putting some pressure on Newman. Ryan Newman's had people chewing on his rear bumper almost all day long. Saw Casey Kane work on him for 50 laps or more.
Casey was pretty patient with him. We'll see if AJ will be.
Here's the 9 and the 99. Speaking of Casey Kane and Carl Edwards, they just had a little contact. They're battling for 16th position.
It was Carl trying to get on the inside. He got a little bit loose.
Not quite clear. There goes Tony Stewart, Mark Martin going at it.
Mark Martin able to take that position away. Now Mark back up to 4th spot.
Mark just doesn't want to see any more cautions. That'd be his only chance to get up there, and then probably about 2nd as far as he's going to get, but he could possibly make that happen.
A.J. Allmendinger right on the inside. Now he bobbles a little bit, and Jeff Gordon will get the high side and try to go by.
I want to tell you, Ryan Newman's going to be lucky if he doesn't get wrecked before this race is over. He's had somebody, like I said, chewing on that left rear all day.
It's just so hard to make that pass on the inside, and Ryan's able to run fast enough up out of the corner that it makes it difficult on these guys.
Now Greg Biffle's moving in saying, I want to play a little bit. He's going to try to move underneath the 44 car. We are inside of the checkered flag here, and these guys trying to get every position they can. Remember, Biffle is one of the chase drivers. He has already gained a spot in the points today, moving up from 9th to 8th.
Brian Vickers there, running well after getting the lucky dog.
Getting back on the lead lap. Vickers now being shown up in 14th position.
Saw that 9 car come into the corner smoking. Smoking on the outside of that 47 down.
Still they are deadlocked to the top right now. Johnson and Martin. Montoya 50 points back. You see Kurt Busch would have gained a spot. So would Stewart and Ryan Newman. The big loser right now today would be Denny Hamlin. He would go back 4 positions. Hamlin being shown 22nd on the racetrack, 2 laps down.
I think this thing, as we see Jeff Gordon finally taking that spot away from Ryan Newman, but I believe if this thing goes green to the end, Mark Martin will get his car up to 2nd. Even if Jimmy Johnson wins this, he'll still hold the points lead at the end of the day. Newman's car, although he's been pretty decent all day long, and he's sitting up there and they're still in the top 10 in that 10th spot. It just seems that it's fallen off as the runs go longer throughout the day, and that's where he's really struggled. If these new tires are able to help Gordon make up some more ground.
Jeff Gordon, who snapped that 47 race winless streak at Texas this year, has only the 1 win this year, but he has 6 second place finishes. So it's been a pretty good year for Jeff Gordon in terms of being consistently in the top 5. The 39 now starting to drop back a little bit as Gordon pulls away. Let's update Ryan Newman. Jamie.
Well, Doc, you know he's an engineer, so he came over the radio and said, I don't know if it's like the combination of the right rear shock or the track bar together. He said, but I just cannot get in the corner. And you know he's been running top 5, and right now he's just slipping back. It's the worst he's been all day.
Sort of Murphy's Law, we need the car to be its best. It ends up being at its worst.
Yeah, it's really frustrating as a driver. You get down, you make that last pit stop, you think you've made all the adjustments to get your car right, and then it just doesn't behave like you want to. You have to really be careful not to overdrive at that point in time, and Ryan is doing a good job of that.
Jimmy Johnson is our leader. And by the way, he has gotten the bonus points for leading the most laps. He has now led 3 times for 233 laps. The 3 previous times Johnson led the most laps here, he won the race. And there is one of the stories of the day. Matt Kenseth, a team that has struggled for the past 3 or 4 months, possibly having only his 2nd top 5 finish since February.
Man, that's hard to believe. This team has struggled that much after winning the first 2 races of the season. He's having a great run here today, and even though Jimmy Johnson is kind of killing everybody, he is sitting right there in 2nd spot.
He saw Montoya's car get a little sideways coming off the corner. I think he sees that dive car coming in a hurry in his mirror.
Yeah, he knows you better get after it a little bit. Less than 40 to go here. Sees that yellow hood of Mark Martin's car becoming more prevalent in his mirror right now.
Right now, Juan Pablo Montoya, if he were to finish where he is, would gain a position in the point standings up to 3rd.
He actually had the fastest lap last time by. Montoya did.
It looks like that lap where we showed the back end kick out that he had found a little bit of something, because since that time he's picked up every single lap on Matt Kenseth and really closed that gap.
Jeff Gordon now trying to take the 8th spot away from Casey Mears. So in hindsight right now, was it a good move for Gordon to come on pit road and get those fresh tires?
Well, it's too early to tell. We'll see how it shakes out. I mean, that contact that he had with Newman, I think, set him back a little bit. He's going to get this spot away from Casey Mears. But there's 33 laps to go, and you know, if we have another caution and they bunch up and some of the leaders don't pit and he has a little fresher tires, it could really pay off. So I'll have to get back to you on that one, Doc.
All right.
I think he was running 7th when he came into the pits, and he's back to 8th.
No, they got a caution. Sam Hornish in the wall.
Just what you were talking about, Andy.
Get it going, Sam. Leaders exit at 2. You can get it spun around there. Exit at 2.
What are these leaders going to do now?
This is a very difficult decision right here for all these leaders, whether they get tires. They can obviously make it on fuel.
What would you do?
Well, if I'm Jimmy Johnson, I believe I will stay out. He's got a good car, and I think if he stays out, this is my thinking, if he stays out, it'll keep a lot of cars on the racetrack with him.
The 88 car got the free pass and will be able to get one of his 2
out here. What about you?
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Oh, yep. I'm sorry. We're going to watch the replay here on the 77. Looks like he may have just spun this car by himself. He's trying to get a run on this 00 of Rudeman. Yep.
They may have got the left front down on the apron there. That will really loosen your car up right at that point in time. You want to keep it down there as much as you can, but it's kind of unloads the car. Let's see if we can see right here. It's hard to tell, but that seen that happen quite a few times.
Now, if Jimmy Johnson does decide to pit right here, it'll be an opportunity for somebody in that group to stay out, or even more than a few to stay out and make it very difficult on Jimmy. Maybe try to steal this win. It's a very difficult decision now for Chad Canals.